Seems like we're both alone tonight. The words slipped out before Daniel could stop them. He hadn't meant to say them to the woman in the tailored coat standing beside him in the dim hospital cafeteria. To him, she was just another tired stranger staring into a cup of cold coffee at 11:47 p.m. Daniel was a single dad. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was upstairs recovering from pneumonia. He'd spent the last 3 nights sleeping upright in a plastic chair, answering emails from his warehouse job during the day and whispering bedtime stories by night. He wasn't looking for conversation, just a moment to breathe. The woman glanced at him, surprised. For a second, he regretted it. But then she gave a small, understanding smile. "My son's on the 4th floor," she said softly. "I had back-to-back board meetings today. Didn't make it here until now." There was something honest in her voice, no pride, no status. Just exhaustion. They talked. About the guilt of missing milestones. About trying to be strong when you're barely holding it together. Daniel shared how Lily still believed he could fix anything with a hug. The woman laughed quietly and admitted she wished someone believed that about her. When Daniel's phone buzzed with a work message threatening unpaid leave, he shrugged. "Family comes first," he said. "The rest figures itself out." She studied him differently then. The next morning, Daniel learned the tired stranger wasn't just anyone. She was the CEO of the very logistics company that owned his warehouse. And she hadn't forgotten a single word he said. By noon, Daniel was called into the warehouse office. His manager wouldn't meet his eyes. "Corporate's reviewing attendance," he muttered. "You've missed 3 shifts." Daniel nodded. He'd expected this. Hospital bills were stacking up. His savings were nearly gone. But he wouldn't apologize for sitting beside his daughter's bed while she struggled to breathe. "I understand," he said quietly. "I'll take whatever comes." An hour later, a black SUV pulled into the gravel lot outside the warehouse. Everyone stopped working. Out stepped the woman from the hospital cafeteria. Only now she wasn't wearing exhaustion. She was wearing authority. Whispers spread fast. "That's her. The CEO." Daniel felt his stomach drop. She walked straight toward him, heels crunching against loose gravel. For a moment, the entire warehouse floor went silent. "Daniel, right?" she said gently. He nodded, unsure whether to brace for bad news or embarrassment. "I've been reviewing our company policies this morning," she continued. "Specifically, how we treat parents in emergencies." His manager stiffened. She turned slightly, addressing the room. "No one should have to choose between their job and their child's hospital bed." Then she faced Daniel again. "Effective immediately, we're implementing emergency family leave across all locations. Paid." The warehouse erupted in stunned murmurs. Daniel blinked. "You don't have to do that because of me." She shook her head. "I'm not doing it because of you. I'm doing it because of what you reminded me of." She paused. "That success means nothing if you're alone at night." The policy change made headlines within days. Across the US, Canada, and the UK, employees shared the announcement online. Parents posted photos from hospital rooms and school plays with one caption repeating over and over. "Family comes first." Daniel didn't think much about the ripple effect. He was too busy sitting beside Lily as she slowly regained her strength. The color returned to her cheeks. The oxygen tubes disappeared. Her laugh came back. One afternoon, the CEO visited again, this time with no press, no entourage. Lily was drawing in her hospital bed when she looked up. "Daddy, is that your coffee friend?" Daniel laughed. "Yeah. That's her." The CEO pulled up a chair. "Hi, Lily." Lily studied her carefully. "Daddy says hugs fix things. Do you need one?" For a second, the powerful executive hesitated. Then she nodded. Lily wrapped her small arms around her neck. It was simple. Pure. Unfiltered. And something in that embrace cracked open a space the CEO didn't realize had been empty for years. Boardrooms, profits, growth charts. They suddenly felt smaller than this hospital room. She pulled back, blinking quickly. You're right, Lily, she whispered. Hugs do fix things. Daniel saw it then, the shift. Not just a leader changing policy, but a person remembering what truly mattered. When Lily was discharged, the CEO covered the remaining medical expenses quietly, anonymously. But Daniel found out. And this time, he was the one left speechless. Daniel didn't confront her right away. He wasn't sure how. The hospital administrator mentioned it casually. A private foundation covered the balance, she said. Happens sometimes. But Daniel knew. So a week later, back at work, he asked for 5 minutes. She agreed. This time, they met in a glass conference room overlooking the warehouse floor. Forklifts moved below them. Real people. Real lives. You didn't have to do that, Daniel said quietly. She folded her hands. I didn't want publicity. That's not what I meant. He swallowed. I meant, thank you. For a moment neither spoke. Then she surprised him. I grew up with a single mother, she said. She worked double shifts. I barely saw her. I promised myself I'd build something big enough that she'd never struggle again. She glanced down at the warehouse workers below. I built it, she continued. But somewhere along the way, I forgot who I was building it for. Daniel nodded slowly. You reminded me, she said. There was no dramatic music. No grand speeches. Just 2 tired adults who understood sacrifice. Before he left, she added, We're launching a child care support fund next quarter. Scholarships, emergency grants. I want leaders who understand why it matters. Daniel blinked. Leaders? She gave him a small smile. I'd like you to help design it. He walked out stunned. Not because of the promotion, but because one honest sentence in a hospital cafeteria had grown into something bigger than either of them expected. 6 months later, the warehouse felt different. Break rooms had bulletin boards filled with photos, newborn babies, graduation caps, family barbecues. The Child Care Fund had already helped dozens of employees across the US, UK, and Canada. Emergency leave requests were no longer whispered in fear. They were honored with dignity. Daniel never became a corporate executive. He didn't want to. But once a month, he sat at the long table in headquarters meetings, offering perspective no spreadsheet could measure. When discussions drifted too far into profit margins, he'd gently bring them back to people. Who does this help? He would ask. And the room would quiet. One evening, long after Lily had fully recovered, Daniel found himself back in that same hospital cafeteria, this time delivering toys for the pediatric ward. The CEO joined him there unexpectedly. Feels different now, she said. Daniel nodded. Yeah. Not so lonely. She smiled. I used to think leadership meant being the strongest person in the room. And now? Now I think it means making sure no one feels alone in it. At that moment, Daniel realized something powerful. Kindness isn't loud. It doesn't demand applause. It multiplies quietly, through policies, through opportunities, through simple human moments. One sentence spoken from exhaustion had changed a company culture. One hug had changed a leader's heart. And somewhere in the world, another parent sat beside a hospital bed without fearing they'd lose their job. Because compassion, when acted upon, becomes legacy. And sometimes, the most powerful revolutions begin with, "Seems like we're both alone tonight."